It has only been a few days, but those few days have felt like years since Donald Trump was sworn in as president of the United States once again. And boy, do I miss Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, two people who were actually focused on solving problems and making our country better instead of whining, complaining, starting culture wars, attacking allies, all the things Donald Trump loves most and bother us all the time. And I think Kamala Harris has recognized that we are all missing her so much because she decided to take an opportunity and troll Donald Trump just yesterday in the most perfect fashion that I cannot wait to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now, like I said, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were two people who actually cared about getting stuff done, and that's the exact way that Kamala Harris trolled Donald Trump, poking fun at what he won't get done. But before we get into that, I want to hear one of the last messages she delivered before leaving office.
I just have to say again, I am so proud of our team. And this is a team that spans many years of doing extraordinary work on behalf of the people. And as you all have heard me say many times, I am fully aware that I am the public face of a lot of our work. And so I have the benefit of running into people all over our country who thank me. And I will tell you, I am fully aware that when they are thanking me, they are thanking our team for the extraordinary commitment that you each have and as a team have to lifting up the American people, lifting up their condition, lifting up their hopes and dreams, and understanding through it all the nobility of public service. We have each taken on a life and a calling that is about doing work in the service of others and doing it in a way that is fueled, yes, with ambition, yes, with a sense of almost stubbornness about not hearing no, and knowing we can make a difference. And I'm not going to go through the laundry list of all of our accomplishments. We know what they are. But I will tell you that everyone here has so much to be proud of. And our work is not done. And as you all know me, because we have spent long hours, long days, and months and years together, it is not my nature to go quietly into the night. So don't worry about that.
It is not in the vice president's nature to go away quietly. She's not gonna. She's staying in the fight. It is exactly what she said after the election was over. She has repeated it over and over and over again that Kamala Harris will use her incredible voice to call out Donald Trump and advocate on behalf of people who want to see change and progress in this country. She's also going to use her voice, a voice that annoys Donald Trump, to play the very important role of getting under his skin, which we all know is important because it distracts him and keeps him from doing as much damage as possible. And Kamala Harris took a little trip in LA that I think was very specific in why she went to this location, a grocery store, a place Donald Trump claimed to care a lot about on the campaign trail, but maybe not so much anymore. So before we get into the rest of that, let's take a look at Kamala Harris.
Who we got in there?
How does it feel to be home, Ms. Harris? Thank you for your service.
Our former Vice President Kamala Harris in a grocery store, hanging out with folks, taking photos. I'm glad to see her. I know they were glad to see her. But I think there's a little something more to this. Kamala Harris is a former vice president. She can get someone, if needed, to deliver her groceries. Why is she there? I don't want to get too conspiratorial, but I know Kamala Harris loves getting under Donald Trump's skin, and I think she wants to make it clear that even out of office, She's more focused on groceries than Donald Trump. Someone who could not care less about the promises he made to bring down prices on the campaign trail. No, throwing that out the window. Kamala Harris, she's still focused on them, and she's still talking to the people. Unlike Donald Trump, who, as always, is only focused on his grievance. Listen to what he said in an interview with Sean Hannity when asked directly to speak about the economy.
A bunch of losers. Joe Biden has very bad advisors. Somebody advised Joe Biden to give pardons to everybody but him. They wanted to take care of the but Sean, they wanted to. I don't care.
They're yelling at me.
This is more important because right now the economy is going to do great.
I want to know about
I'm here, so the economy. But you have to understand, he had bad advisors on almost everything. It's like in the old days when the Secretary of State said he never made a correct decision on foreign policy. Joe Biden got very bad advice.
You've been through.
He doesn't care? Donald, I think you have misconstrued your very slim margin of victory. Everyone wants to act like Donald Trump's win was this overwhelming mandate of 90% of the country and we need big, sweeping change. No. People elected you because they misconstrued your ability as a businessman to lower prices, to make an economy that was booming, didn't get enough credit, even better, to make things cheaper in their lives. That's it. Inflationary pressure led to your victory. Nothing more. That's it. Donald Trump doesn't seem to understand that. He wants to focus on buying Greenland, declaring that there are two genders, renaming the Gulf of Mexico. Nonsense that doesn't do anything for the central issue that mattered most to people who voted for him and have the opportunity to give a report on the job he's done in 2 years in the midterms. 4 years later, Kamala Harris might be around for that, still focused on groceries. But there was obviously a reaction to this, and the worst of which came from Jesse Waters, who had this to say.
The New York Post caught her grocery shopping with Dougie Fresh. What kind of husband goes grocery shopping with his wife?
Are we serious? Is he doing a bit here? Doug shouldn't go to the grocery. What man goes to the grocery store? Like, the idea, this toxic masculinity that Jesse Waters thinks he's just like this machismo guy wearing his makeup, doing his show, complaining, whining. I mean, this is why your wife divorced you, Jesse. Or maybe it was because, and I don't want to speak out of turn here, but you were sleeping with your producer. I don't want to get into your family matters, but clearly you want to get into the family matters of the former vice president. But what is wrong with going to the grocery store? I don't know. We don't even need to get into this. It's all a distraction. It's all nonsense. But clearly, like I said, Kamala, getting under their skin, distracting them. I miss our VP. I miss someone who actually cared about getting stuff done. Speaking of which, another Democrat who cares about getting stuff done, Jasmine Crockett, went off on the lies that have been the focus of the first few days of the Trump administration, and certainly will be for the rest of it. And a great clip I want to check out here.
Now, let me be clear about this as well, because we've talked about crime and we've talked about fentanyl specifically, and this is also something that I have dealt with, unlike some of my other colleagues. And listen, I'm going to be honest, because I actually want to fix problems. And I actually have a really good senator in Texas, and I'm sure y'all can guess which one is the good one. But let me tell you, if we care about fentanyl, I have multiple bills for that. I started on the state level before everybody started talking about it, and I have federal bills that my senior senator has signed on to. So I welcome my colleagues because I actually want to make sure that my communities are safe. But as we start to talk about crime and statistics, Mr. Beer, I want to play a little game with you. It's called Rhetoric versus Reality. And so I want to ask you, my first question, is this rhetoric or reality? Immigrants commit more crimes than U.S. citizens.
On a per capita basis?
Rhetoric or reality?
Oh, it is rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record this article, which states that undocumented immigrant offending rate lower than U.S.-born citizen rate, and this is from nij.ojp.gov.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. The next one, immigrants are just living off the federal government and contribute nothing.
That would be rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I would ask unanimous consent to enter study that says undocumented immigrants pay almost $100 billion in taxes. This is from the Alabama Reflector.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. My final rhetoric or reality question is immigrants only enter at the southern border.
Rhetoric.
Okay, right, because they enter all kinds of ways. I just wanted to make sure that I put that out there. In fact, I have a few more questions because I still got a little bit of time, which I usually run out of time. We have talked again about crime, and there's been this overemphasis on it. And honestly, I can tell you that I don't want anyone to be killed, whether it's here or anywhere else. There is nothing about me as the child of a preacher that makes me say that I want people to die, okay? So I feel as if my colleagues from across the aisle have decided that they are going to make immigrants the boogeyman. It's insanity to me, but they also are showing compassion for victims, which they should, but they have no compassion for people that are contributing to making us great in this country. So interestingly enough, I'm curious to know, Mr. Beer, if you know if immigrants contributed to these particular crimes. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York that killed a number of African Americans as they were trying to shop for groceries. Was the defendant an immigrant in that case? Do you know?
No, he was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Charleston, South Carolina, there were black churchgoers trying to praise the Lord. They were killed. Was that an immigrant that perpetrated that or not?
No, that was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Now, coming home to Texas, there was an El Paso shooting. Do you know if that was an immigrant or not?
No, they were targeting immigrants in that case.
In fact, each of these cases, it was white supremacists.
I would love some more Jasmine Crockett and some more Kamala Harris all the time. Please. We need people who care, people who get stuff done. And that is what we're going to be talking about on the show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.